Let's talk about planning. Planning within sampling. Well, we know we've got tests of details and tests of controls. We know that another name for test of details is substantive testing, and we know that this is done in order to reduce detection risk, and we know that this is done in order to assess control risk. So, what are we going to do when planning for sampling within each of these? Let's see. When planning for a sample for substantive tests of details, what should we consider? And these are just points, nothing critically important to memorize, but just to be familiar with. We want to consider the relationship of the sample to the relevant audit objective. We want to consider the preliminary judgments about materiality levels. How material is it? If it's more material, then we might want to do more sampling, increase the sample size. We want to consider the allowable risk of incorrect acceptance. So we've gone over that quite a bit. And we want to consider the characteristics of the population, that is, the items comprising the account balance or class of transactions of interest. We want to consider what it's made up of, how relevant it is, how vulnerable it is to potential fraud or error. We want to take that into account in our professional judgment in determining what our sample size is going to be. Then what about planning for test controls? Well, planning a sample for test controls, what are we going to consider? We want to consider the relationship of the sample to the objective. We are going to want to consider the maximum rate of deviations from prescribed controls that would support the auditor's planned assessed level of control risk. Sure, let's do that. We also want to consider the auditor's allowable risk of assessing control risk too low. Hey there, are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.